Everyone, it's Lisa. I am doing this video to show you guys how to make the face masks. In the kit is I'm giving you 10 bundles or to make 10 masks, but you'll have a bigger pattern piece with two parts to it and a smaller one with 2 parts to it. Okay, you can see that they're slightly different in size. Okay, I've already cut them with pretty sides facing together to get you started right away. So step number 1 is to sew the curve. Okay, so this is step 1. So when you're sewing, guys, I want my girls to be safe. I want you guys to please sew slow, okay? Please don't get all crazy and fast just because I sew fast, okay? And we're going to make sure we use the edge of the foot. It's a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Over here is way too much, right? Too much fabric hanging off. You want to be right up. Let me see if I can turn it this way. Right up against that edge. Not over here, okay? So we want to make sure that these masks fit everybody. And if you take too deep of a seam allowance, it makes the mask smaller. So we're going to do a back stitch. You're using the basic stitch, okay? So we're just going to go like this, and we're going to sew around our curve, staying right on this edge, right? And you're going to come around. And I'm going to show you a little trick. If you feel like you want to do this, you do a little back stitch. You can add the next one on. So then I'm going to sew the curve on this one. Oh, sorry, guys. My girls were just starting. We need to pin. I forgot to tell you to pin. I've been doing these videos a little too much. So then you can just continue right on onto the next one. Back stitch. See? Just keep on going if you want to. Go around your curve. Pull your pin. Complete stop. Pull your pin. Don't reach in while it's in motion. That's how you get your finger sewn. We don't want that. We want to keep everybody safe. My threads, guys, throw your threads away as you go. Don't leave them on your table. It just makes a huge mess at the end to clean up, right? Okay. Helpful hint. Okay, step 2. We are going to hem the ends of all these. So we're going to see, this is the seam allowance. It's hard to tell in this one. You're going to just fold it and pin and pin. Okay, and then you're going to turn on the other end. You're going to hem this side. We're going to sew down the hem. Okay? Sew. Do the other end. Pin out. And sew the hem. And we're going to do the same on the other piece. We're going to fold it and sew it. And do the same on this side. So you guys should pin it first. Unless you feel comfortable that you can do it like this. Alright, so now we have our hems. That was step 1 was sew the curve. Step 2 is hem your 2 ends. See how I did that? Okay. And do the same on this piece. Sew the center, clip the 2 ends. Hem the 2 ends. Now we're going to put pretty sides together. So here's my pretty side here, where the nice pretty seam is. And here's my pretty side here. I'm going to put them together right at the point. Okay, so you see how the mask has a pointy side and has kind of a straight across side. I'm going to do the pointy side first. I pin it right at the seam, and then I'm going to turn it and do it on the shorter side. I'm going to pin it. Okay, so pin. Then we're going to put it back on the machine, and we're going to sew regular seam allowance. We're going to follow around the curve, okay? And we're going to follow nice around that curve. See how we're doing that? Now look, you get up here to this point. I want to show you guys how to deal with it. See if you can. No, that doesn't help. We'll keep you back there. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Okay, we're going to come up here, and I want you to see, I know, sideways. There we go. Okay, see how we're coming up to this point? We're going to come up to the point. Okay, and we're going to put needle down. So see how that needle is down inside there? This is called a pivot turn. Okay, so those of you guys that haven't learned this yet, you just see how so I pick up my petal, I can turn it because my needle is down inside the fabric. That's called a pivot turn. And you continue on and you sew down around here, pulling pins as you go so you don't break a needle. Flap. Okay, and then I'm going to do the bottom the same way, but this is straight across. So I always start from the center where the two seams meet because that's where that shape is. It's got a shape around your face. So you want it to be in the exact same spot. And I'm going to pin it. I'm forcing it because the smaller one is a little bit smaller. I'm bringing it down to meet it. I'm not doing that, okay? Whoops, I'm not doing that. I'm making sure it comes all the way to that end, okay? It's really important that we do that. So see how this is laying like that? You can't do it that way. You got to push it all the way to the edge, okay, guys? Try to remember that. Force the fit is what I call it with my kids. And we're going to put it on the machine, and we're going to go ahead and sew it. Okay. Step 3 is to sew the two masks together, top and bottom. Sorry. Step 4 is we're going to add the nose piece, okay? And I happen to be using, so I'm going to put it on this side so I can show you. Oh, it stands up. Nope, doesn't stand up. Okay, we are going to take this, we're going to fold it in half. Okay, so it's like that. It's going to go on the peak of this. So we're going to put it on there, and you can just shape your thing to fit right on the edge. And you want to make sure you put it on the seam allowance, not down here in this part. You want to make sure you get it on this little ridge up here, okay? So I'm going to put it on up here, and then you're going to zigzag it. That's usually your second stitch over on your machine. So we're going to change it to zigzag. So zigzag, it goes back and forth, right? Okay, we will put on the longest or the widest zigzag, and we are going to put it on. Now, I recommend you use your hand wheel, which is on, over on this side of your machine. Sorry, tip up. On this side of your machine, the little wheelie thing that you can turn. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be using, but I want to come back in tight. Okay. Ay. Hold on a sec here, getting it on there. Okay, and I'm going to just kind of make sure it's going around it. See, I'm just kind of just hand sewing just so that I make sure that I don't hit the thing. And then I'm going to do a little tiny zigzag. I'm going to come around and, okay, and then we're going to put a needle down again. So now see how my needle is, I hope you guys can see. I put the needle down. So now I can do a pivot turn to get around this curve. My wire is kind of coming over, so I'm going to shape it over a little bit so it's right where I want it, and I'm going to go nice and slow, and I'm going to take it off, and now I have my nose piece on there. Okay, there you go. So now the nose piece is on there. Can everybody see that? Okay, so now we're going to turn it right side out. So step 1 was to sew the curve. Step 2 was to hem the ends, all the ends. Step 3 is to sew the two pieces together. Step 4 is to sew on the nose piece. Step 5 is to turn it right side out. So we got it right side out now. I'm kind of getting it. And I'm getting that wire thing up in there the way it belongs. You can kind of see it. Sorry, hold on a sec here. It does not want to cooperate. Hold on a sec here. Just keep working on getting it turned right side out. There we go. There we go. That looks better. There, got it right side out. We are going to now make the casing for the elastic. Okay, so how you do that is I fold this in first. I think it might, yeah. So you fold it in this way. And then you're going to take this, and it's going to come down and meet up with this gray, but not crossing over it. Oh, really important. Don't get creative with these patterns. Like, don't do color blocking or some crazy thing. They definitely want one color on one side and another totally other color on the other side, so they know which side they are using. So it's really important. So you don't want to like have gray plaid, okay? Don't get creative on me. They definitely want one color on one side, another color on the other side. Okay, and then we're going to jump on. We're going to sew this down. Oop. Make sure you put it back on straight stitch, and we'll sew it. And make sure we definitely, you might want to do a couple stitches back and forth, so because this is where the elastic's pulling, so we want to make sure we secure those tippy edges really good. Okay, whoops, don't cut the fabric. Okay, and then we are going to, it's going to fold down and fold down. And fold. Excuse me. Excuse me, goodness gracious. Okay, now we are going to, I'm going to take a drink of water. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Woo! Okay, and we're going to sew this other side, same way. And if you ever get stuck at all, give a little tug on the back to get it rolling, okay, if you have any issues with that. Okay, and now we have finished sewing the mask. And our last step is to put the elastic through our tubings that we just made. So see that? See this stitching there? And then if you look on this side. So this is where the filters are going in. And then we're going to feed the elastic through now. So how you do that is, why does that keep turning off? Okay. We are going to put a pin on one end of the piece of elastic. And look at what I did. I put it through like that twice so that it definitely is on there so that it doesn't get fray out when you pull it through. So this is the back of my safety pin. This is the front of my safety pin, right? You do not want to be, when it's inside there, holding it like this because it'll pop open. Make sure you're holding it on the flat, okay? You're going to stick it in one end and you hold the back of the safety pin, scrunch some fabric onto it, then grab a hold of that front and pull it through, okay, until you get all the way to the other side. And sometimes you kind of have to work this little opening right here. Hold on a sec here. It's a little tricky. There it goes, comes out. Okay, now you have your elastic. You can take your safety pin off. And our last thing we want to do is we want to pull it down. We're going to wrap around our fingers. We're going to just knot it, guys. We're going to make this easy. So give a little knot, but push your knot. Get your knot as close to the end as you can. Not all the way to the tippy end, but okay, and tighten it down really tight. And then I just slide it inside so it's out of the way. And one side is, whoop, slide it in. Don't cut that little excess off and have no end on there because the knots will come out then. And we really want this to be as secure as possible. So when they're putting it on, okay, and we'll put the other side in. And there we go. We'll tie it up. And I know that I'm not always using the prettiest of fabrics, but it doesn't matter. I think right now we just want function. I was just using whatever I had. And I'm really, if you guys have any fabric to donate, elastic or pipe cleaners is the thing I'm using, or any wires, I'm going to be running out soon. So I'm going to go until I have no more. So, okay. So this is how the mask looks. Let's give a little demo. So we're going to put the mask on. So this goes around their ears like this. And I want to show you why this is such an effective mask. Okay. So it goes on them like this. You pinch, it pinches down around their nose so they don't get anything inside. And it goes all the way under their chin. So that's why they like this one so much. I know it's not very pretty, kind of frightening, but It is super functional and they are super grateful for it. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping us get these out there. All right. Have a great day. God bless.